Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 4, going to be, well, doing a little bit of a challenge, doing a little bit of a tournament with a Super 2000 car. This is the noisiest car in the game, the Peugeot. This is the 207 Super 2000. A really cool addition to the game, but we're going to find if we can, well, kind of build one to beat it. Because the truth is the Super 2000 cars were 2 litres and no turbos, and there are very few engines in this game that will really be competitive with this as 2 litres and no turbos. In fact, most of the engines that would be in this class have turbos to start with, and we can't take them off. So we've just opened it up to 2 litres with relatively modern, kind of hatchbacky sort of vehicles. A couple of oddballs thrown in for good luck, and we're going to be running a rally tournament. We're going to run up this hill to the top where there is a pickup truck parked. We do a U-turn around the truck, and then we blast back down the hill again and across the finish line. 1v1 knockout tournament. There'll be a mega spanner final and all of that sort of goings on at a later date. We will start with a Clio versus a Civic. A fairly sensible little match-up here as we will get them underway. Now everything is going to be all-wheel drive. Everything will have rally tyres in. This is a good start from the Clio that'll take the lead on the way up the hill. And track limits, we'll have the, don't both fall off the circuit on the first race. It's bad to say, track limits will take an FIA approach of they're there, we'll be a bit liberal with them. It's very difficult to follow and even at some points even see where the track limits are, but generally as long as there's no massive abuses of them and overtaking somebody, we're Bahrain track limiting it. We'll see how it goes, basically, if we need to do anything. Fingers crossed everyone will be sensible. It's a good start, at least, to this race. Aside from the big understeer session of everybody going to visit one particular piece of railing, the hairpin is where some time can be made up. It's difficult to overtake. It always is in these tournaments. I mean, this road is probably one of the easier roads to overtake. You've got some pretty nasty braking zones here. The Civic is going to have a go to maybe to the inside, but it kind of bowls it over the hill and can't get the power down. This is a very tight little chicane that is easy to get into trouble, and both cars struggle to get turned in. It's kind of a bit of a blind corner, that one, and trying to figure out where the best place is for the cars is not always so easy. So you head around the, clears out very wide, just about keeps it together. And up here we will go for the U-turn, so you've got to dive into the left-hand side of the vehicle, spin it around. The Clio's gone very wide, ample use of handbrake is needed. The Civic made up a bunch of time in that one. Yeah, you got to really flick the car around the back of the pickup truck, and then it's now onto the descent down the hill. The Renault's out very, very wide. It might get away with this though. That wider line, you can sometimes get a little. You'll lose time overall, but you can get on the power. And kind of get that little bit more acceleration off of the corner to keep hold of a position in a dire emergency, which that one was a little bit. The Renault's extended its gap again as we head around one of the tighter corners. The Clio looks very slidey. The Clio looks very twitchy. This is one of the things that you can have as they bump doors all the way down the hill here. You can get this with the front-wheel drive to all-wheel drive conversions. The cars can get quite upset. They can get very twitchy. The Civic is to the lead of the race. Here comes the Clio fighting back. It's to the inside for the next hairpin we go. It's been a wonderful start to this. Clio's locked it up. Clio's locked it up, but made sure to make life awkward for the not intentional. As you can see, the wheels were locked. It was just going straight at that point. It's bounced a little bit too wide. Can it get it back on the course? It can. It's still to the inside through all of that. Can the Civic look for a way past? It's just the run to the line. Who has got more straight line speed in all of this? I think it's going to go just to the Clio. Only just. Only just indeed. It nearly fell off the mountain at one point. That was a great battle, actually, between the pair of them there. It was a hell of a battle. The Clio is through to the next round. A good way to start our little tournament. Up next, we have got another Clio. This one a little bit newer Clio, if I remember. Yes, I think that's the newer Clio, if I remember the generations. And one of the oddballs we've got, 124 above, is a rally car. I know the rear one's rear-wheel drive and everything. This one will be all-wheel drive and so on for this, but yeah, we'll give it a try. Let's get these vehicles on their marks, and we will release them off the line. It is quite even across the bridge. The Clio with a little bit more top speed here. Maybe with a little bit more. Not quite sure where the fit. Everyone's gone really wide. I say everyone. 4 cars have run so far, and 4 cars have gone very explory at that particular particular corner. The Fiat's having a look. It's trying to go around the outside here. Now, it might get this done if it can outrun. It can't outrun the Renault. The Renault gets a little bit squeezed to the inside. Has the Clio got the acceleration for this next? Again, it's a slightly wider line, and the Clio has a little bit more acceleration than the Fiat. It would seem, although the Clio's got that next corner wrong. Oh, it bounced and bounced, and in, unfortunately, into the back end just got lifted up there, and the car found itself in a little bit of trouble. Now, can the Renault put their head down and catch up? It's going to be difficult. This is one of the longer tournament stages we've done, to be fair, but still, it's difficult to make up huge chunks of time. But there is always a chance for a mistake at the end of the day. This is the sort of course where mistakes are easily made, shall we say. You don't go too far to the inside there, you will get in trouble. It's very, very bumpy. Are we going to see any shenanigans from the Fiat running into the hairpin? You're supposed to go. Well, some have been going around the rock, and sometimes the rock doesn't appear there for cars, actually. I think we're just going to say don't bother with the rock, because it's a movable thing that doesn't always show on your screen. So some are going for a more chuck it around, and some are kind of abiding by it. As we head, we'll get some nice rally shots coming down the hill. It looks spectacular, I will say that much. It does look spectacular on this one as we head through these next few corners. The Clio's not too far back. I mean, it's there ready to pounce if any mistakes are made. The Fiat's out a little bit wide through the next corner as we sweep down the hill. Now, as we saw, you've got to be really careful of the rocks. All it takes is a little bit running wide moment, and you end up with a wheel in the ditch, you end up with a wheel by the rocks, and it will just bounce these cars about. The physics engine doesn't really like the vehicles running over the rocks and stuff, and yeah, bad things can happen as we head out of the next corner. No real sliding from the Fiat, no sliding from the Clio either. They've both got plenty of grip. I think we are now not quite onto the run to the finish line. I thought we were a corner later than we were. No, this is the final corner now for the Fiat. It gets it around nicely for the 1-2-4. The Clio is back there safely around as well. Across the finish line, the Fiat is through to the next round. The Renault put up a great fight. But that little mistake cost it, and has they'll go into the Spanish final. Still though, a good showing from the Renault. Don't know how fast that was run overall compared to other cars, but it looks spectacular. Our next heat, and we have got, well, potentially some fast vehicles here. Wide body Mini, that's going to have some nice big tyres, likely to have quite a lot of grip. We've got an Audi S1, also always a good choice when it comes to these sort of things. So we will have them ready on the line, and they are off and underway. Very even jump between the pair of them. If anything, the Audi now getting a little bit better. Oh, it started to rain. How that's going to affect it, I don't know. Audi is to the inside. Big understeer. The Mini was the first car to kind of get that corner right. It was just unlucky that an Audi was in the way of it getting it right. Pretty much. So, it's not what the Mini was wanting for all this. Also, slightly adjusted the rules on the track limits up by the truck. You've got to stay off the grass, but we're ignoring the rock because it moves and doesn't always spawn for everyone. So, yeah, that's the new trend. Raised as we go. The Audi is out a little bit wide through there, not quite as wide as the Renault was. Doesn't bounce off the rocks, doesn't bounce in the ditch, so it is all okay. If you're too tight to the inside there, you could be very slow on the exit, and the Audi is struggling a little bit. The Mini's having a look to the inside. Audi's going to get the run on the exit here, though, I think, and we'll keep that position into the slow chicane we head. Audi's all sorts of crossed up on the way in there, though. Again, that tight line is going to make you a little slow on the exit. The Audi holds on to the position for now. It's been very, very close all the way up here. Mini's trying desperately to get to the inside, just gets a little bit of airtime and is then slower. Wheels not on the ground, the car is not going to be accelerating, so here we go, diving across. Oh, the Mini missed where it was aiming for, but did go on the brakes, didn't really gain an advantage, but it lost a little bit of time in the turnaround there. So it's time for the barrel back down the hill. Can the Mini find a way past? It's looked quick in places. It looks like a little bit, well, the Audi's been very quick as well. The Mini's looked like it's been faster in places, but never quite able to get a move done. So we will see if it can find a way on the downhill section. It's right back on the tail of the Audi now. Are you going to make a move stick here? Or the Mini tries to do it. The Audi's sliding through the corner. The Audi's going for a lot more sideways than the Mini in this stage, and The Mini's got all the speed on the way into that corner. The Audi got the car sorted out for the exit slightly, but it's still under huge pressure on the way down here towards the next hairpin. The Mini's going to try and look for the outside line through here. It might work if the Mini doesn't fall off the cliff. Oh, the fences go. The Mini's still looking for a way past. It's a huge jump. That's not what you needed. But I think that's going to cost the Mini because it's only got one more corner to go. The next corner is a corner, but it's going to be flat out. I mean, I applaud the effort from the Mini. That was maximum attack. It tried everything. It just could not get past the Audi. Audi did a wonderful job around that one. The Audi will progress to the next round. That was a hell of a battle. This rally stage is proving exciting, and that is what we like to see. So, we have up next the second of the more oddball cars in the form of the Alpine, and we have an Acura. We have the RSX. It's an Integra, basically. We will see how they might fare. Of course, the RSX is front-wheel drive to all-wheel drive conversion. It was a little bit slow off the line. The Alpine is rear-wheel drive to all-wheel drive, which is generally more stable in all of this as we head up through these next corners. Again, we have another car, the RSX. Nicely does it around that corner. Doesn't run wide. Alpine was a little wide, but not too bad. We are gradually losing the light at the moment. We should be good for this run. The cars don't have rally lights, actually. None of these. There's a rallycross car that might have rally lights. The Alpine has more lights, kind of. Who knows? It'll be dark on the mountain, so you generally won't run at night. However, we should get this one done. It's a race against the sun as well. Alpine leads the way. Is pretty close, though. Again, these races have been pretty close in terms of overall speed. Alpine, doesn't make any mistakes into the hairpine, a new type of corner, into the hairpin. We are through the awkward chicane. We go next. The Alpine gets a little bit, both actually, a little bit wide on the exit. The RSX bouncing off of the rock face, almost gets away with it though. Doesn't have that same awful bump that we saw happen to the Clio. Now it's time for the hairpin. We'll see if we can get them into the chicane part and sliding out the other side. There we go, it's worked this time around. On the handbrake we go. The RSX a little bit more oversteer. Can't quite straight up in time. Made up some ground and then lost some ground when made up some ground with the initial flick, but then couldn't straight up in time and then lost some ground on the exit. Now, barreling down the hill, are there going to be some overtaking opportunities? The RSX is pushing it to the limit. You can tell because the fence fell away, and the Acura nearly went visiting the canyon down there as we head through these parts. Thankfully, it's not a sudden drop-off. You'll get away with a little bit running wide, which is helpful. Some of the mountain roads that we have done, it's just a sheer cliff face if you put a wheel over the edge. Like here, for example, you're not going to get away with it if it goes wrong. But those earlier points you can just about. So you have enough warning almost to save it. The Alpine is looking good here. The A110 has got a nice lead. It's not a massive lead, though. Like one bad corner and it's going to be in all sorts of... not trouble, but it's going to have all sorts of company. There are only a few more corners to go, though, down here. Can the RSX find any sort of speed? In fact, I believe this is the final corner. I'm learning the course, honestly. Final corner, the RSX a little bit too sideways. It threw everything it had at the Alpine, but it is not going to be enough. The A110 is through to the next round. The RSX put up a good fight. It shadowed it for a while. It just couldn't quite do anything. It's just a little bit too slow, and then a couple of only minor running wide moments. Just fell a little bit too far back. But again, another very, very close race. Up next, we have got a driving school car that's turned up for a rally stage, and we have what's likely to be a very fast Fiat. We're all quite worried about the 695. Don't worry, the Corsa rolling forward is going to get lag pinged back again. It's Forza doing its thing, really. Alright, let's set them ready, and off and underway we go. It's a good start for that Fiat up towards this first corner. It will lead the way. The Corsa is pinged itself across a funky line. Everybody has learnt not to be too wide on that particular corner. I say that, I'm going to run next, I'm going to fall off the bloody track doing this one. I can sense, I've been watching and learning where to go and everything, and I'm still going to get bloody lost and fall off. The Fiat continues to lead the way. The Corsa has been quite liberal with the track limits, I think, on that one. It's almost getting to a Lado warning for track limits going up through here. The thing is, though, it's not actually fast enough to do anything about the Fiat anyway. Fiat is mighty quick as they head over that. That's a fun corner to look at from this angle, because everything's kind of half in the air trying to make the corner. Oh, a big two-wheeled moment for the Fiat through the chicane. No, both running wide, both clip the rocks at that next section. It is dangerous, to say the least. Again, two-wheeled antics on the exit there. The Vauxhall is sliding about all over the place. Both of these are front-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive conversions as we head up to the hairpin. The course is flowing in with a lot of speed. The Fiat doesn't quite get the hairpin so good, but I say that, it looks like it doesn't, but I guess it's like the concertina effect you get in a tight corner like that. It looked like the course had carried some speed, but it just couldn't use any of it. Now we go plummeting down the hill. Is there going to be any chances, any opportunities to find a way past? Fiat's run a little bit wide on the way into that chicane, although both have done a fairly similar thing. Fox has made up a little bit of time through all of that one, as very sideways through the next corner. The course just doesn't look like it has any rear end grip at all, and the Fiat looks quite well balanced all the way down here. Again, through these next turns, the Vauxhall is very sliding. I was about to go focus the camera on the Fiat. Oh, doesn't quite go where I thought it was. But I was then realised the Vauxhall was getting very close to that rock face. It almost caught it. It didn't quite. Here we go. Down the hill we head. There's a couple more corners for these cars to take as the sun is starting to rise on our lovely little rally stage. This is the final turn of the circuit. And the Vauxhall, it just couldn't live with the Fiat's grip. It kind of stayed there for a little bit, but it started struggling with oversteer, and across the line the Fiat is through to the next round. The learning school car is into the Spanner final. Again, though, it was another fairly tight race. This is producing some close runs. Now, I am in the last of the heats, and with the way the random draw has worked, the two proper rally cars have been put together. We have got a Focus that does fit within the regulations. It gets the PI down to a 780, which is what we're using for this, so it's allowed to run, but we have got two purpose-built rally cars going up against one another for this one. Oh, I forgot we were doing that command. I goofed it and just went straight from the off. We'll bring it back. We'll bring it back. That was it. Someone always goofs it. This time it was my turn. There's always a goof, and if there hasn't been a goof, then you're probably going to be the one that's going to goof it. So there we go. Right, we are ready for attempt number 2. Let's not goof this one up. There we go. It's better this time around. The Focus has launched really quickly in this. That's concerning. That is very, very fast. It is a little bit wide through there, which you see from a lot of cars, so that's going to really outrun me down the straight. I'm going to have to either outturn it, hopefully. Now, I believe I have weird tyres on the Super 2000. We have some sort of like rallycross tyre, which is different to the normal rally tyres, and it actually has slightly more PI than the game's actual rally tyres. So I don't know how they work or quite what they are, but yeah, we have slightly different tyres, which may give us a little bit of an advantage in terms of the corners. That's the hope, at least, because we're going to need it. The Focus has got some serious speed. We're busy looking and looking and looking and looking, and we're a little bit too much to the inside there. Even if we had made a pass stick there, it would have been from jumping the corner. Oh, we're going to try and not run out wide like the Focus has done. It's got away with bouncing off of the cliffs somehow. It's made that one work. We are to the inside up here. Oh, we get the car turned, and we know the Ford is going to be so quick down the straights. Now, we're going to try and go for the chicane around the Titan. It's side by side on the way in to this. We take the really tight line through that one, and we have got the position. But again, now downhill, these straights are where we're going to get we're going to get eaten if we're not careful. We really need to make the most of the corners where we can. I've used the handbrake more in this race than I think in any other race I've done on Horizon. I don't really want the car to slide. It's just to try and be... It's almost to get the back end just to rotate enough and then immediately stop it sliding. It does help at the hairpin a little bit. One of the few times where I'll find that the handbrake is actually useful for speed. Don't run wide through here. I want to carry as much as the speed as I can, because I am still worried about that Focus. It has got some... yeah, it's got some serious pace. Like the run to the line, we could be in trouble with if it's close enough, and I didn't really want to slide as much as I did through there. We've got a couple more corners to go. We've got to be absolutely perfect through here if we're going to get this. We are, come on, a little bit of understeer has gone on. Bit sliding from the Focus, but it's not quite going to do it. Oh, and it's been another close one. The Super 2000 car is through. It has deafened everybody within a 20-mile radius. I feel sorry for anyone who has to go against it because you can't hear your own car over it. Ooh, that was a tough race. It was a good race. It was a bloody tough race. So, we are on to the first of our semi-finals. We have got the French cars. We have got the Clio versus the Alpine running up the course. It should be an interesting matchup. We will get them ready and we will fire them on their way. Expect maybe the Clio to be a little faster in terms of straight line speed, and indeed it is off the line, but it may well get twitchy on the run through the course. The Alpine potentially the more stable of vehicles, or the Clio might just struggle. That's the notorious running wide corner so far. The Renault's fighting back actually, is to the inside, or bobbles it across the bumps down there. Can't quite keep it under control in the end on that funkier line. The Alpine has got the lead of the race as we head up towards, what have we got next? Some iffy rocks on the outside of this next corner. You don't want to understeer it too far. Oh, it's got twitchy on the way in. You definitely don't want to be dealing with that one there. Sorry, it's an itchy nose. For some reason I was pressing the zoom forward button with the drone, the right bumper button, and thinking that's going to make my drone go forward while I quickly itch my nose. Apparently not. Towards the chicane we head. Clio bounces a bit too much on the first part and it just throws it out wide. Those rocks are oh, dear me. About to say those rocks are kinder than they could be, and they could be a lot meaner to the cars. The Clio gets very lucky and there it almost went and visited some scenery. Up towards the chicane we go. Grab of the handbrake for the Alpine and it is round. Oh, the Clio missed the braking zone. Oh, that's unlucky. Clio trying to make up some time, just get too fast on the way into there and couldn't get it turned. In the end, time was lost from that one. It technically didn't quite make it around, but yeah, more time was lost in the trying to deal with that than anything else. It's looking unlikely for the Clio to make it through to the final at this stage. It's I think the near falling off of a cliff has set it back. That little near falling off a cliff, little mistake at the turnaround. It's yeah, a long way, a long gap to make up. It's never impossible though. All it takes the Alpine to run wide and clip a rock somewhere, and you can lose a whole heap of time. That's the thing with these rally stages. This one, as I said, is kinder than a few we've done. It is a little bit wider. There's a little bit more runoff area. You can get away with a little bit more here in terms of mistakes, but still, you know, we've already seen trouble found. One more corner to go for the Alpine. I don't expect there to be trouble here as we are around this one. The Clio back there. Yeah, just a couple of corners, a couple of bad corners, and it can really undo you. The Alpine almost hit the bridge on the way across. That would have been an unceremonious way to get into trouble. And there we go. The Clio is across the line. It'll go into the spanner final for this one. The Alpine is through to the next round and looking quick. So, we have had the French, or kind of Renault round. Now we have got the Fiat round. Yes, the 695 was drawn against the 124. Both looked pretty quick. It should be a pretty good matchup. I managed to bring up the chat menu while it still wasn't technically on the UI. That's always concerning. I don't want to ruin the start procedure doing it myself. I've already managed to mess up the start myself, let alone the start procedure. Both quite wide through here. Not too bad from either car. The 124 maybe losing a little bit more time through that section. The difficulty everything has in dealing with that, the 695 is super light. It's a really very, very light vehicle, and it is just quick accelerating and has good grip. It doesn't have the biggest tyres here, but it doesn't need to when it's probably the lightest car, certainly one of the lightest cars on this course. The 124 is going to have to make up some time with either some bravery through the corners, just chuck it in and hope that the car has some grip like that, for an example, or mistakes potentially from that 695. We'll see if there is any bits where it can start making up some time through the chicane. You don't want to run wide or like that. That's the sort of thing the 124 wants to see, just those little mistakes. The 695 is quick, but it's still got to push like crazy if it's going to stay ahead of these cars. So the 124 is right there now as we head to the turnaround. Can it make up any time in this section? 695 has run very wide through all of that. I'm surprised no one went to try and take a really tight exit on the back of that Iron Knight. I guess maybe the cars are struggling to get the front ends to turn. That's why I would have gone for the handbrake and really gone for the short line around that corner. You might be slow on the exit, but you'd have the track position and you could probably hold it to the next corner. But still, maybe the 124, sorry, tried it, just couldn't quite get it to turn in at the right point. Either way, we're now running back down the hill. Where are the overtakes going to come? This is where the 124 was quick. This little section here, although it's got a big slide this time around, I think they may have hit some rocks. I don't know if there were rocks on my screen. There are rocks there that aren't displaying for me, but it suddenly lost speed midway through that corner, which would suggest something like that. It turned in a bit too soon. There's a little bit across the inside, and there are rocks to be hit. It may have been where it lost some time. It's put up a bloody good fight, the 124. It's really tried, but there's only a couple of corners to go now. The 695 was a little bit wide. The 124 is looking for every little bit of speed it can through here. It's spectacular, but it's not going to be enough in the end. Yeah, it fought valiantly. It's not quite enough. The 695 crosses the line. It takes victory. The 124 is out of contention here. That was a bloody good race. That was a really good race indeed. Yeah, 124 got a little bit unlucky, just slow through. All it takes is like one corner and you can just fall a little bit too far back. But yeah, another very good race. On to the last of the semi-finals. I have got my Peugeot ready to take on the Audi. The noisiest car in the world is going to hopefully be quite fast on the run up the hill. I don't know though. We definitely don't get the launch on anything. Okay, it wasn't just unique to the Focus being very quick. My car is just slower down the straights than some of the other vehicles. My hope is that we have got the grip that some of the other cars don't. You can see already we've got that drive on the exit of the corner. Looking around the outside there, if that was a tighter corner we could probably have made something work. Sadly, it was not. Again, into another hairpin. We keep the car. Oh, we don't slide the car around that one. We get to the quarter, but it's not really enough to do anything about the Audi. Where are we going to fight? I mean, I think the pass might come at the hairpin if we can get that spot on. Here we're very quick again, much like we saw from the 124 last time out. Oh, we're going to struggle with an exit out there. It's side by side. Oh, but we're on such a tight line on the way into the chicane. It's going to make us all sorts of wonky on the exit. The Audi is all over the bumper. It's almost to the inside here. We know it's going to have a little bit of a look. Can't quite do it there. Okay, we're up towards the Lado hairpin. My car, I think, is quite strong at this section. Flick it around there, try and get some speed on the exit. Indeed we do. The Audi, the Peugeot, Peugeot can just get the launch off of that corner. It's really good at getting that awesome launch off of the hairpin with that really tight line. It's working for me. We'll fly back down past the chicane, a little wide on the way in through there. It makes it difficult on for the second part. We were very quick on the way up through this section. Can we continue to be fast on the way down? I don't know. We were a little bit of understeer through there. Let's not do anything stupid. This corner we should make some time up on. Nope, the Audi is... we do make some time on the exit. We can just carry the speed that the Audi cannot through that bit. It's looking to the inside, but not quite there. Not quite making a pass. We've got a couple more quarters to go. We've got to keep up the pace. You can't relax on this stage. One little bit of relaxing will cost you a position. The Audi was out wide through there, and I think that might be it done. It threw everything at the Peugeot, but it was not quite enough. The noisiest car in the world is through to the final. The Peugeot Super 2000. I mean, good. The Super 2000 car is into the final for the Super 2000s. It has done it. We'll have a celebratory death of the competition. Okay. I'm pleased with that. Again, another really, really good battle. There is absolutely no way this is going to go any other way than just a massive chaos ball going up the hill. We've got the spanner final, where 8 cars are going to battle to be the ultimate spanner up the narrow mountain path. it's going to be complete chaos. I don't know what to watch out for here. Well, we expect the Ford rally car to be quite quick. The 124 might be quite quick. I've immediately fallen off the bridge because I'm a plank. The RSX actually gets a really good start. We'll take the lead of the race briefly, but is there all sorts of trouble for the hairpin? Everybody's wide. Yep, there's a few cars in the fence. The police Clio was to the inside of a 5 wide as we run through. That's not really fit, does it? Through there. Police Clio made up some places and then lost them all on the exit of that corner. The Corsa led the way, has now lost the lead to the Mini. The Ford is up to 4th, can't quite outrun the RSX up the hill. The 124 is behind them. Well, this Mini continues to hold the lead of the race as we round these next couple of corners. Now, if you can build a lead early on, should say, don't know what's going to happen when we come to the hairpin. We didn't really think that far ahead, so if they're spread out, it's going to be a mess, although I think everyone's battling so hard that they're going to be close enough. We still have Mini leads, Corsa second, the Focus is up to 3rd, the 124 is having a dive as I've hit a wall. With the drone, the Focus is going to have a look for second here, up the inside at the hairpin. Indeed they do. The 124 is also having a look to that inside. Course out very, very wide through all of them. May hold on to the position. Now we're going to have to say cars are going to stick to the inside, I hope, and the rest go to the outside. The thing, I'm hoping that's not in ghost mode for everyone else. I don't think so. They've made it around one way or another. Sometimes drone mode loads stuff in funny. The Mini leads the way. Focus in second. 124 is in third, is battling away with the Audi. The Clio's up the inside of everybody. They're 3 wide on the exit. The S1's in all sorts of trouble in the middle of that. Doesn't really want to be there. Corsa bobbled the inside, well, rock phase basically, gets away with it. They slip and slide their way out of the next corner. The 124's having a look for second place through all of this, but can't get the speed on the exit. I mean, this is all great news for that Mini. It's all good news for the Mini here, because the more they fight over this second, third, fourth, the more time the Mini has running around in clean air, the more time it doesn't have to worry about what is going on here. So the Mini leads the way. Focus second, there goes 124. The Audi has passed the Clio. Oh, we got the first one off the cliff. The RSX falls off the cliff. Can it recover? And it can. It's going to lose a place, I think, in all of that. Oh, there's the police Clio's out very wide. The Corsa's fighting against the 124, but it can't do it. Up at the front, it's going to be the Mini that takes victory. It does, followed by the Focus. Then the 124 just beats the Corsa. Audi crosses the line. There goes the police Clio. The older Clio is across, and then the RSX. Someone was going to fall off the mountain at some point. I feel like the RSX had to do something. It just threw the car at the course. Hope it stuck. It didn't, and it fell off. So yeah, a wonderful cacophony of mayhem went on right there. Well done to the Mini. They took victory in all of that. Well, the main final, that's got a lot to live up to, and I'm running in it. Hopefully I don't fall off the mountain. So, we are on to the final. We have got the 695 Bath. That's here. We have my Super 2000 Peugeot and the Alpine. I'm curious, certainly, to see what's going to happen. I think I'm going to struggle against the 695. We'll have to wait and see on this one. Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult up against that car. I'm hoping I have the grip. I don't know who we have doing. There we go. We are ready. We're going. We all launched at the same time. Doesn't matter. A little confusion over who is doing what. Now, I think the trick here is going to be for me and Longbow not to screw ourselves out of this by fighting each other too much. I say that as I hit into the door of Longbow's car. That was my bad on that, and not let the 695 get away. I fear we might already be too late for this, because I'm going to have to use all of my cornering speed if I'm going to catch the Fiat that has all the acceleration in the world. We have all the turning in the world in comparison, and I say that, and we're using this in relative terms. The difference between these cars is not massive. It's why we've had such close races. We run very wide through all of that. Yeah, we've just got to keep foot down and be as brave as we can through these corners. If we can get the Fiat at the hairpin, I feel like we're in a good place to try and hold it behind for the run down the hill. We can get the change. Yeah, the change of direction there is where we are very strong in the noisiest car. We're to the outside though, up here. That's going to be a difficult one to pull off, even for my vehicle, which it doesn't quite make work. The Alpine's there now. If I start fighting Danger Man, we might slow each other down and let the Alpine catch up. Here we go. We're heading towards the hairpin turn. The Fiat actually hit the truck, and that kind of blocked us all in a little bit. Not an intentional mistake, but one that means I couldn't really profit from it anywhere. The rain, is that a lightning strike? Oh yes, that's what we need, extreme weather. That helps me maybe a tiny bit, but it would only be a really tiny bit here. The difference between wet and dry physics in Forza is not very much. We're starting to run out of corners now if we're going to find a way past the 695. We are all over the bumper as we run through this next section. Ignore the randomer, that is of no impact on our race, that being ghost mode. See if we can carry the speed here. Can we get a run to the inside? Can we have a big dive? We're going to have a big dive to the outside of the 695 if we can get off the corner. Well, we can't. Oh, we're falling off. It was worth a go. I feel like that was about the only chance we had of getting past, and because it was just going to out-accelerate me at these corners. It was worth a try. I just didn't have the grip to make it work. We went for the spectacle. It didn't quite pan out, but I'd still rather have done that than not tried and sat behind it across the line. That was a wonderful race. The Alpine crosses the line in second. We take third in all of that. I mean, that's why you never give up in these races. It could have very easily been me and Dangerman getting into trouble in that one, but yeah, the little Fiat. I knew it was quick. My Peugeot put up a really, really good fight, and it was really strong in places around there, which I was pleased about. It was definitely very competitive in that, which you'd hope so, being the actual Super 2000 car. It's a fun addition to the game. The sound is balked. It's hilariously loud on everyone else's screen. On my end, it's loud, but nothing as deafening as it is for everyone else. But yeah, it was great fun. And this is a great road. The track limits are always difficult to follow up here. But on the whole, I think we had a pretty damn successful tournament. So there we go. Victory will go to the 695. We'll have to settle for third. But we gave it a damn good go. We haven't been punted. That's the podium celebration. That was going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. And until next time, a goodbye.